What's going on, YouTube? This is Drano's back at it again, bringing you another video. Back at it again in the Seattle Seahawks CFM in the Madden Underground Pro League on the PS4 side of things. So we're in week 3 against the Dallas Cowboys. So, you know, I've noticed the way I've been putting out these videos, even though I am a little bit farther into the season and haven't posted all the gameplays yet, it's funny. It's matching right in line with the NFL season. So obviously, I'm sure you guys probably watched the Seahawks Cowboys game, and you know, while we did get the win, you know, it's a little bit concerning nonetheless, just because our defense was looking kind of shaky. But we're looking at the Madden Seahawks, not the real life Seahawks, at least in this game. So just taking a look here, you know, my opponent, you know, he does go ahead, get the ball first, and one thing I noticed right off the bat is the fact that there is no Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. He actually has Philip Lindsay from the Denver Broncos. So looks like at some point my opponent decided to pull the trigger on a trade to get rid of Zeke, which that's kind of shocking to me, in my opinion. I don't see why you would give up a player of Ezekiel Elliott's caliber, but we do force him to a 4th and 3. He decides to go ahead, try to call 0-1 trap, but we blow that up in the backfield, and that gives us an early possession in his territory already. So 1st and 10. Going to try to get the run game going here with Chris Carson. Now, while the Cowboys don't necessarily have the best defense, they do have quite a bit of speed as far as their just overall defense. And as you guys can see, I try to hit circle on the little like vertical route, but I do get hit right as I try to throw, and I get the throw out of sack animation, and that does force an interception to Xavier Woods. So right when we thought we had a little bit of momentum going into the game, we give it right back to him. And, you know, one thing that I also did notice in this game is that it was a mirror match. And what I mean by that is that my opponent and I, we both were using the same playbooks, both offensively and defensively. So he was coming out in the New England offense and the 46 defense, which coincidentally, that's actually what I run as well. So really, it's just a matter of who runs the playbook better. And in my personal opinion, I run the playbook about, you know, better than this guy anyways. But as you see here, tries to throw the corner out, but we go ahead, jump it with Shaquille Griffin. I try to get cute and try to do a little stop and go, but honestly, I don't think that was necessary. I think if I just would have kept running forward, I think I would have gotten a pick 6 there. But you know, no one hurt, no foul. We're able to go ahead, get the ball back after turning the ball over on our end as well. Shaquille Griffin has been playing really, really well up to this point, so it makes sense. Obviously, he's one of our superstars on defense, so nice to see him putting in some work there. So try to get a little bit of a drive going. So what I'm noticing my opponent here do is he's running a lot of man-to-man, and, you know, with the Seahawks, they do have some good receivers, obviously Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. It's just the problem is whenever you play man-to-man, it is helpful to kind of have those thresholds that help beat man, which I know with Lockett and Metcalf, they're not quite at the 90 threshold as of yet. So it makes it a little bit tougher to really beat man-to-man. I thought I had circle here. Had I not pass led it to the inside, if I would have just pass led it straight up, I think that's a touchdown. So we do throw another pick to Awuzie or something like that. So that hurts, especially, you know, when we had at least guaranteed points off turnovers. And then my opponent, you know, he takes a shot, catches me trying to go to the crosser, and he's pretty much gone. That's Michael Gallup. Ain't no one in our secondary catching him. So he's able to go ahead and actually jump in front. It's kind of been a turnover, kind of back and forth game up to this point. So really sloppy performance on my end. Definitely something that, you know, is a little concerning, but, you know, nonetheless, you know, something we could still build upon. We have the crosser there, but it's Philip Dorsett. So obviously Philip Dorsett doesn't have the best catch ratings. And of course he goes ahead and sells out and drops the pass on what should have been a nice dot for about 20 yards. So, you know, we do have, I wouldn't say our backs are against the wall quite as of yet, but we're definitely kind of in a shaky situation. Not sure what happened here. Not sure how he was able to break so many tackles with Philip Lindsay. He's able to get a weird animation and get into the red zone. So 2nd and goal. We know that he's going to try to run. I believe it's with Tony Pollard out there spelling Lindsay, but we're able to go ahead, sell out for the run. I knew that's what he was going to try to do. Then he goes 5 wide on 3rd and goal, gets the slant, but our playmaker out there, Jamal Adams, is able to go ahead and pop the ball loose and force a field goal. So, turnover didn't turn into a disaster, because if we were down, 2 possessions, 14-point lead, that's looking kind of shaky right now, to be honest. So, only a 10-point game, not too worried, but, I have been kind of struggling on offense up until this point. We're able to hit Tyler Lockett on the deep post, able to go ahead and get a big gain in his red zone. We decided to go ahead, call RPO, give it to DK Metcalf, and he's able to muscle his way into the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks, able to cut down the deficit to 3 points. And the great thing about that possession is that now we do go ahead, get the ball back again on offense. So try to see if we can make something happen here. We are able to. Josh Gordon just absolutely just ags his defender, and shout out to Russ, for making enough time there, because we really didn't have a whole lot going on here. So we're able to go ahead, roll out. We do call the cover 4 bomb to DK Metcalf, and that gives us the lead. DK Metcalf's second touchdown of the game, as he gives us the LeBron silencer celebration there. So feeling good. We've scored 2 straight touchdowns, and our defense is playing a lot better up to this point. So feeling a little bit better. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% confident, just because I know the Cowboys have a lot of weapons on their team. So definitely got to try to hold the door now whenever it comes to defense, especially because our defense is kind of struggling. We don't really have a whole lot of pass rush. That's the one thing, and I probably mentioned it in previous videos. That's the one thing that's kind of concerning about this team, is that we don't have any pass rushers, so that's what makes it tough. As you guys see, my opponent, he's dotting his way downfield, able to go ahead and hit Cooper on the little it's like a 10-yard route or something like that, able to go ahead, get in our red zone. 3rd and 3, we're able to force it, and I'm not going to lie, my opponent does get kind of cheated. Dak kind of fails on him and overthrows Amari Cooper on what potentially could have been a walk-in touchdown. So my opponent decides to kick the field goal, but he actually misses the field goal, so that was kind of shocking to see. So that is a win in my book in terms of defense. So really at this point, I want to use some clock, just because I know that he has proven that his defense can get stopped. So if we could use up a little bit of clock, go ahead and get a field goal, we'll take it. So I tried to bait him, see if I could get him to commit to the flat route, and that would cause the angle route to be wide open. But unfortunately, we make a mistake, throw an interception there. Hate to see it. Russ has been kind of shaky in this game, but he's kind of one of those guys where it's kind of that next play mentality. That's why he's an MVP candidate, at least in real life. So able to go ahead. Just really, again, just got to play that bend but don't break defense up to this point. So we do force a 3rd down, and nothing really open, so my opponent decides to take a little flat route. But shout out to Jordan Brooks, who's played really, really well up to this point, able to go ahead and tackle him for a loss. My opponent calls no huddle, and I'm trying to think what he's really called, because he's running this, I believe it's trips tight end flex. I think that's what the specific formation is called. And he motions, acting like he's gonna motion snap, but he is just, at this point, he is just bluffing, and he's actually able to go ahead, actually take his 3 this time and actually make something happen. So 3 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. You might as well just call it the 4th quarter. This is kind of the put away drive, the guap drive is how I'd like to call it. So if we're able to go ahead, get a dagger for a touchdown, that's pretty much going to do it, as we kind of do throw a dangerous pass there to Josh Gordon. Even though Josh Gordon has played decent, making some big catches, but we're going to just try to milk this clock, try to get some points on the board. We do go ahead, roll out with Russ on the cover 4 bomb, but he does cover it manually, so we do go ahead, hit Greg Olsen on the other end. He's able to make a tremendous one-handed catch and put us actually puts us in Dallas territory. So we're going to go ahead from there, just hit Tyler Lockett on the little bubble. And then right here, this is what should have put the game away. We see that, Lockett has inside position. We go ahead, inside pass lead, but he drops it. So kind of, disappointing, because Lockett is our best receiver. But 4th and 2, we don't lose faith in him. We give it to him on the little RPO against man coverage, and that pretty much toasts man coverage every rip. So able to go ahead and, pick up the conversion on 4th down there. And then really at this point, this is kind of where Chris Carson decides to take over the game. We do go ahead, hand him the ball off a few times. Almost at the 2-minute warning. If we get a touchdown here, it's pretty much GG's in my opinion. And we do just that, as Chris Carson is able to get in the end zone for a Seahawks touchdown. touchdown good guys, Chris Carson, who's been playing really well up to this point. So really my opponent is just in a very, dire straits really at this point, as he's just going to try to call 5 wide. He does take off with Dak and get some good yardage there. So, he's almost at midfield, 2nd and 10. He tries to thread the needle, but again, Jordan Brooks, our rookie, plays it perfectly and is able to go ahead and get the game-sealing interception. And from there, we do move on to 3-0 in the season. Playing pretty well. Definitely some things we need to work on for sure. And we're moving on to next week. So if you guys did enjoy the video, I'd appreciate you guys hitting that like button. I'm enjoying doing this series, even though I probably may get popped a time or two throughout the series, but it's okay. Obviously I'm not expecting to be perfect, but playing well up to this point, 3-0. If you guys are looking forward for more episodes in the series, consider subscribing to the channel, and also check me out on Twitch. I do actually live stream these games at the same time that I do record them, so if you want to see more of a live version of it, follow me on Twitch. I'll leave the link down below. It's twitch.tv/DreNosTV, just like my YouTube name. And really, until the next one, guys, this is Dre Nose, and I'm signing out. Peace.